I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
You are now listening to LB and the Sports Doctor here on WLIE 540 AM. The newest sports radio show out on Long Island. LB and the Sports Doctor. WLIE 540 AM. You filled out a couple brackets yourself this week, right?
Yeah, and today I got my Final Four knocked out. One of my Final Four.
Who was in your Final Four that got knocked out?
No, well, Wisconsin and Kansas State. Well, first of all, I filled out like 4 brackets. That's number one. Okay. But Kansas State and Wisconsin were in there as one of my Final Fours for 2 of them. And they got knocked out, and it's annoying because I was doing well, dude. I had like 13 out of 16. Mm-hmm. I was in the 96th percentile overall.
Right.
I was ready to rock and roll, and then boom. Started off on the wrong foot. What do you know?
Man. So who's your favorite out of this entire tournament so far? Who
Dude,
do you
I got
like?
a lot of favorites, man.
Who's the number one team that you like, Lou? The number one team.
See, you can't have a number one team in a tournament like this.
Okay.
Because it's all about matchups. That's how I look at it.
All right.
The 2 teams that I liked all year long were VCU and Butler.
To win a national championship?
Just in general, those are the teams that I liked.
Right.
I like Shaka
Okay.
Smart. I like Brad Stevens. I like the way they coach. I like the way they play the game.
2 young guys. I'm on the same page with you. With
exactly. Like I enjoy watching. I enjoy watching those teams.
Right.
Then you have that's like the mid-major category, but I really do believe that one day a mid-major will win this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think the talent is getting spread it out.
Butler got close.
Exactly. They got real close.
Right.
They were a half-court shot away from beating Duke.
Right.
You know, Gordon Hayward almost nailed that shot too.
No.
But then you go into the big schools and you got your typical. You know, you got Indiana, you know, Kansas, Duke, Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
I like Miami. But realistically, you have to say to yourself,
They played well this season.
they played unbelievable, but and I like Michigan. I'm a Michigan guy too.
And
I like Michigan.
I'm a Michigan guy this year, yeah.
Now, those would be like my 2 teams out of all the big teams that I like.
Right.
But the whole thing with the Miami thing is like realistically, is Miami basketball really going to win a chip? You know what I mean? Like you have to put it in perspective.
Yeah, they're going to have a tough road. They
And
definitely
Indiana looked good today, man.
What was that final score? 83-62 over James Madison. They just rolled over James Madison.
And they were up like 35 at one
Yeah.
point. He emptied the bench, and you know it was one of those.
But this
games.
Eastern bracket is going to be tough, Lou. Indiana, they got Syracuse, Butler, Marquette, Miami. This is going to be a tough bracket to get out of. And Indiana's a tough team. We've seen them all year. They were at number 1 preseason poll. They were at number 1 for the majority of the season. This is a tough ball team. Miami's going to have a tough road ahead of them to get to that Final Four spot.
Absolutely, but they got some big guys, man.
Right.
This guy, number 42, I think his name is Johnson or something.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's a beast. He's a monster. He's huge. He's bigger than the key.
Yeah.
That's how big he is. I'm being serious. He gets someone on his back. It's an automatic layup. And you got Barry Larkin's kid, old baseball player.
There you
son,
go.
You know what I
Look
mean?
at
Getting
that.
out there,
All right.
playing point guard, draining shots, and running the offense like he's supposed to.
Can I give out one of my sleepers? The Sports Doctor sleeper of the bracket. I really like this team. I've watched a couple games from them this year, and I really like their point guard. He really gets his team going, and he gets the opposing fans going as well. This kid from Ole Miss, Henderson.
I watched him just put it on Wisconsin today.
Yeah.
And you know what's annoying about Wisconsin? This is what they do every year. They get involved in a game like this,
Right.
and they just cannot score. They just can't score. It's nuts. First of all, they take 35 seconds off the clock before they shoot.
Right.
And then they sit there and they miss the shot, and they started shortening their shots this afternoon. And this kid, Henderson, scored like 17 out of his 19 in the second half.
I like them a lot, and I like
They started
how
getting
it's
very rowdy.
right.
I like that.
I like how their bracket is starting to shape out. You had LaSalle upsetting Kansas State, so Ole Miss will see LaSalle in the second round, a game that Ole Miss can win, and then Gonzaga, Wichita State up on top of that bracket. I don't like the way Gonzaga played in the first game. Maybe Ole Miss starts making some moves, man. They could look at an Elite Eight spot.
Yeah, but they got Arizona in there, right?
Right,
They got
yes.
Ohio State, who's blowing Iona out 80 to 55. You know,
Yeah.
it's a lot of guys like Ohio State coming out of there.
Right.
I like Arizona coming out of there personally, and I wish
Arizona's
I wish
a good
I
ball
put
team
them
too.
coming out of
A
there
lot
in
of
all
these
my
teams
brackets.
in the Pac-12 playing very well. right now in the NCAA bracket.
Absolutely. Pac-12's playing great. I don't know how the Big 12's playing, but let's ask my main man, Johnny Numbers. You are on the air.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Johnny, what's going on tonight, man?
Yeah, nothing much. I worked a little late today, but I got home in time, ready to watch my Sooners.
There you go. Who do they got? They got San Diego State, right?
San Diego State, 9-20.
Right.
You know what?
You excited about your boys tonight?
What'd you say?
You excited about your boys tonight?
Very, 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 very. It's the first time they've been to the tournament since Blake Griffin's been around, and if they get past this round, I mean, the way it looks, they could beat this Florida team. A Sweet 16 would be a great accomplishment. They got a great coach in Lon Kruger.
Right.
And they have an experienced coach. This guy's is the only coach to bring 5 teams to the NCAA tournament.
Remember, the number to call is 631-955-5400. It's the LB and Sports Doctor radio show on WLAE, 540 AM.
I'll be honest with you, dude. I love March Madness time.
It's exciting. It really is. The first weekend is really exciting. I think it starts to die down after that.
Knicks up 10, 3 minutes left in the fourth. That'd be huge.
What, Knicks go for 3 in a row?
This would be the second in a row, right? Oh, 3 in a row. Yeah, Utah. Then they won. Yep, right. 3 in a row, and then they come back home tomorrow. Yes. We get a 4-game win streak in the middle of this mess.
Listen,
and get right back on track, man. Melo's back. Looks like he's all right to go. So see what happens.
He was looking. Actually, he wasn't really shooting too well tonight. I saw in the first half. He was like 5 for 14 in the first half.
Oh, look! I'm sorry for interrupting, Chris, but. Yankees, big news, agree to terms with Ching-Mei Wang.
I was actually going to bring that up later in the show. They signed him a minor league contract to Ching-Mei Wang.
Well, it was just on Twitter at 9 o'clock p.m. How were you going to bring that up?
I saw that before we even got here.
Really?
Yeah.
Where are you getting your sources from? This is craziness. You're beating me to the punch.
Actually, I'm going to just throw this one out there. George from the Garage brought that up today.
Whoa!
Yes.
George from the Garage, breaking news for LB and the Sports Doctor.
Absolutely.
An exclusive.
An exclusive is right.
I love it.
We'll see what happens with Ching-Mei Wang.
Listen, why not, dude? Listen, I thought he pitched well for us, man. Remember that first year he came up? That was nice what he did for us.
And his career kind of ended when he was rounding third base in Houston, breaking his ankle. So he was really never the same pitcher after that. But, hey, I hope he bounces back. This starting rotation for the Yankees, if you want to bring that up a little bit, they named their starters. They're going to go with CC Sabathia, Andy Pettitte, and Hiroki Kuroda. Surprise, surprise. But if Phil Hughes, he's got the back problems right now, but if he could get back to this pitcher that he was 2 years ago with the 18 wins, and Ivan Nova, if he could get back to that pitcher he was when he had 19 wins, this is going to be a hell of a rotation, even though the Yankees have their injuries right now.
Oh, yes, they do, my friend. What do you think? Think Teixeira's going to be out for the season?
I hope not. I don't think he will. I know Jose Bautista had the same exact injury as him last year. Sat 10 weeks out, tried to give it another go, and it didn't work out. He had a setback, and then they sat him for the rest of the season. So I hope Mark Teixeira doesn't have that same setback because the Yankees are going to be in trouble without him in that lineup.
Unbelievable.
Let's go to a phone call right now, Lou. We got Rob on the line from Bayshore. Rob, what's going on, man?
Oh, my old friend Rob. What's going on?
What's going on, fellas?
Chilling, man.
What is going on, kid?
Well, happy birthday, Chris. Once again, happy birthday to you.
And I'm going to say the same to you, Rob. Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Why? You guys got the birthday on the same day?
The same
day.
Yeah,
we got birthday the same day, man. We're celebrities, man. LB, I'll send you an autograph for Christmas.
That's so cute.
So what's going on with you tonight, Rob? What's going on?
Well, I'm actually at the bar, and I'm over here, getting wasted. But I'm watching a game with Georgetown against Florida, man. That's pretty.
That's a big upset. We were just speaking about that. We were
biggest
just
upset of the tournament
it.
So far, and it's a disgusting job by John Thompson III. Absolutely.
Yeah, I see. They're just they're shooting breaks over and over. It's getting crazy. So I mean, Florida deserves it, man.
Yeah, Georgetown looked sloppy. They were missing a lot of shots.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm shocked, but I'm shocked.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
You got to be shocked. Number 2 against number 15. I mean, come on, man. You got to be shocked.
Yeah, Rob, we just stated that I just had them in my Final Four, so I guess I could just throw my bracket out,
Yeah, definitely. Trash it.
Yeah, definitely. Just trash it.
Oh,
my God.
That's all you can do.
So, Rob, tell him. Go ahead,
what's
shoot.
Going on?
No, you bring it up to me. Go ahead, shoot.
Rob, since we got you on the phone right now, I know that you're a football guy, so I want to bring this up right now. All right, Roger Goodell already stated this past week they already passed this new rule now for the running backs of lowering their heads outside the box.
I should have known. If I knew you were, I should have predicted this, that you were going to ask me this question. I would have never called. I would have never called.
You're not ready for it, huh?
This is the worst rule. I was literally talking with a bunch of other people about it.
Yeah.
You're taking away the most important move for a running back, especially a power running back. When you lower your shoulders, your head is naturally going to go down because you have to brace for the impact. Your job is to get as low as you can so you can knock your opponent over so you can keep on going.
Yeah.
It's called trucking. It's called trucking. You can't do that if you're facing up. And the other thing that I'm starting to realize, if you're facing up while your shoulders are down, that to me that's kind of leaving your neck in a vulnerable place.
Right.
What happens if somebody literally hits you right above the shoulder line, right there in the neck area?
Yeah.
It looks like you're going to get a sprained neck right off of that. You're going to see a lot of running backs being injured off of that.
I think it's going to be a problem now for the running backs. Outside the box, I think it's within 3 yards that you can lower your head. But after that, now what are these running backs going to do when they bounce out to the outside and you have a safety coming at them at full speed and you're going to be standing upright?
Their job is to try to take them. Look what
It's
happened to
judgmental, though.
He goes
It's
down
a
pretty quick
judgmental
because he
call.
wants to stand upright.
But it's a judgmental call. It's like a pass interference.
And
So
now
it's
there's
not
going to
going
be
to
a
get called
lot of
every time.
controversy.
It doesn't matter. Let me tell you, this season coming up, they're going to call it like it's nobody's business.
No.
It's going to be flags everywhere because they're going to try to stop the running backs from actually doing it. So I'm telling you, it's like almost every play is going to be a flag thrown. It's going to be disgusting. The first few games, it's going to be boring because it's going to be a show of flags. That's what it's going to be.
Well, they already changed the rule last year for the secondary, lowering their heads on helpless receivers, and now they're trying to do the same thing with the running backs now. And I don't think it's going to. A lot of people are up in arms right now about this new rule.
Right.
So, listen, I think Goodell right now, he's really just trying to protect the players. I think concussions in the NFL are getting out of hand right now, and this is just another way for them, try to protect the players. Goodell adding this rule, I think he's kind of contradicting himself, saying, I want extra 2 games, but I'm going to make all these rules trying to protect the players. That's the only problem I have with it.
Just take off the pads and put on the flags and let them play like that.
Right.
Nice
That's what it's
one,
gonna come
Rob. I
down.
like that one. Where'd you pull that one out of?
I've been drinking, though. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man.
What are you drinking?
Don't you see the hype?
I do. What are you drinking tonight?
Everything in their mother.
Whoa.
Everything in their mother. Tonight I'm
And
going
their
to forget.
mother.
And my wife's not listening tonight, but I'm planning to forget my name.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
I love that. That's what I like to do
Oh,
every
man.
time I drink, my friend.
All right, Rob, thanks for calling in tonight, all right, man?
Bye-bye.
Enjoy
Take it easy,
yourself.
fellas. Yeah, you too.
All
Peace,
right.
Rob.
Remember the number to call is 631-955-5400. It's the LB and Sports Doctor radio show. Roger Goodell, also a new rule. No more tuck rule for the quarterbacks now. And remember, it all started with Tom Brady in the AFC Championship against the Oakland Raiders.
One of the most unbelievable games I've ever watched in my life.
That snowy day in New England up in Foxborough.
That game was awesome.
One of the greatest games, I think, of all time.
It really was, man.
Yeah.
It was really. And that play, I swear to God, they reviewed that play. That thing, it took literally, almost a half hour.
Yeah.
It was like nowhere to be found. Everybody was like, is this the way it's supposed to go? Is this the way it's supposed to go?
Right.
We don't know, right? Do you remember how long it took?
The JFK assassination. It was back and to the left.
It really was.
To the left.
It absolutely was.
They analyzed that thing down to the second.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you think the Raiders feel now?
I know. I saw a mini documentary on that game.
Al Davis was like, holy.
Al Davis
banging out of the casket. I got to get back out there. I got some business
now
to take
you
care of.
overturn the rule.
Yeah.
Now he does. But they were interviewing a lot of guys from the Raiders. They had Charles Woodson. They had John Ritchie. They had a whole bunch of guys on that Raiders team, and it still gets to them today. They still can't even talk about the game, they say.
Yeah, well.
It's tough.
Would you listen, I wouldn't be able to talk about the game.
Yeah.
Would you be able to talk about the game?
No, he's talking about a couple plays from going to the Super Bowl. Especially
And that team,
the one
and
play.
that team was going to win.
Yeah, they had the team. John Gruden was the head coach. They had definitely a good team there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
They had a great team.
Absolutely.
North Carolina, 75-70. Well, don't forget, you're listening to LB and the Sports Doctor radio show. Call in 631-955-5400.
The newest sports radio show out on Long Island. Make sure you follow LB and the Sports Doctor on Twitter at The Daily Cleanup and at Sports Doctor TV. Your sports update is brought to you by Accurate Art Incorporated for all your publishing needs. Come to Accurate Art Incorporated. Illustrations, logos, photo retouching, business cards, resumes, brochures, and more. You can contact them at 631-472-9710 or email them at gburrell@optimumonline.net. The Knicks are looking for their third straight win with a home-and-home with the Toronto Raptors after a dominating win Wednesday night versus the Orlando Magic, 106-94. Their next game is tomorrow night at MSG versus the Raptors. Tip-off is at 7:30. The Rangers lose a tough game last night against the worst team in the NHL, the Florida Panthers, 3-1. Florida goaltender Jacob Markstrom with 44 saves on the night. Marian Gaborik with the only goal as the Blue Shirts moved to 15-13-2 on the regular season with only 18 games remaining. The Rangers' next game will be Sunday versus the Capitals. Game time is at 7:30. The Miami Heat look to extend their winning streak to 25 games tonight versus the Pistons. Some March Madness updates. LaSalle beats Sharks. Kansas State 63-61. Creighton hangs on versus Cincinnati 67-63. Temple tops NC State 76-72. Duke rolls over Albany 73-61. Ole Miss outlasts Wisconsin 57-46. And Indiana dominates James Madison 83-62. In NFL free agency news, the Texans finalized a deal with safety Ed Reed. The Bears agreed to terms with linebacker DJ Williams, and sources state that the Atlanta Falcons are closing in on a deal with ex-Giant Osi Umenyiora. That was your sports update brought to you by Acrodart Incorporated. Once again, I'm Chris Burrell on WLIE 540 AM. You are now listening to LB and the Sports Doctor here on WLIE 540 AM.
631-955-5400.
Knicks
win 99-94, baby. I'm getting pumped up again, 41-26.
And that would make it the third in a row, and you know what that means. When you win 3 in a row, that's called a winning streak.
Absolutely. Miami up 7 with 10 minutes left. I can't even get over the streak that these guys are putting on.
25 games in a row. This is
they were down
insane.
They were down 27 the other night.
Unbelievable.
Think about how bad LeBron just messed with Cleveland the other night. Again. Right? They're down 27. Cleveland's like, oh, we're going to get our revenge. We're going to end their winning streak. Yeah, LeBron. Imagine what they were saying to him. And then all of a sudden, slowly but surely,
time to take over.
Next thing you know,
the
Miami
Pistons
comes back down from 27.
Against
That's
the Cavs.
A disgusting job by the Cavs.
The Pistons were coming in tonight losing 9 in a row. But this 25-game winning streak from the Heat, it is all to do with the fourth quarter. The Heat are just dominating right now in the fourth quarter. They're hitting shots when it matters the most. I got a stat for you right now, Lou. You ready for this?
Yeah.
When the game has 5 minutes remaining, the Heat are outscoring their opponent 149-79 in this 25-game streak, winning streak.
They just lock it down, bro.
And that's all has to do with LeBron James, man.
They lock it down defensively. They lock it down defensively. They got to really – if you watch Miami, honestly, and you pay attention like how they're running their defense, they really, really rotate well. Like it's a crazy rotation that they have down there.
Yeah.
Because they have a couple guys playing their guy, but at the same time, they're kind of playing center field in a way.
Right.
And they'll like put pressure on a guy just to make him try to throw that cross-court pass, and all of a sudden you got a fast break up for a layup. It's a done deal. There was something I wanted to bring up to you with this team they call the Rangers over there in the Garden.
Look at this. You want to talk hockey? Is that what you're saying?
I don't want to talk hockey. I just want to get your take on it.
Okay.
Because people are really starting to panic. This guy Toretta, people are starting to bash him.
Tortorella.
Oh, Toretta. Yes. Oh, who was that? Gino Toretta, the quarterback from Miami back in the day.
Yeah.
Tortorella is getting destroyed. And it really ruined my sports talk radio night last night while I was working, where I had to shut it off because all these guys, all they were doing was calling in about the Rangers, and I wanted to bang my head against the wall. I couldn't take it.
Right. Well, the reason why a lot of people were calling is because probably one of the worst losses of the season last night. It was against the Florida Panthers, the worst team in the NHL. They lose a game 3-1. 45 shots on net last night for the Rangers. Obviously, only one goal. Jacob Markstrom, the goalie for the Florida Panthers, he looked like Patrick Waugh last night. 44 saves for him. The Rangers, they're playing hard right now. They just cannot put the puck in the net. It's really getting disappointing. A season that they're coming in, you expect cup or bust. Really coming off a season last year, Eastern Conference Finals. And now this team is just taking steps back right now. Rick Nash, There's a couple guys right now that are playing well, but obviously they're big guys like Brad Richards and Marion Gaborik. Gaborik did get a goal last night, but he hasn't scored in 8 games before that. He's a very streaky player. A lot of trade talks coming up with him. In past weeks, they might look to make a trade for Marion Gaborik, who is one of their better players, Lou.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see. They're 15, 13, and 2 right now. They're tied in the 8th spot. Currently sitting in the 9, but they're tied in the 8th spot.
Which is
at
a disgrace,
32 points.
right? I mean,
it is a disgrace for the team that they have on paper, man. Henrik Lundqvist, he can't do it all. A lot of radio hosts, I constantly listen to sports radio, and the first thing they bring up is what's going on with Henrik Lundqvist, which is funny to me because the guy is playing. All right, he's not playing like a Vezina Trophy winner like he did last season, but he's still playing at a high level right now. He's definitely still one of the top 5 or 6 goaltenders in this league, and the number one problem is not Henrik Lundqvist. The Rangers really need to start putting the puck in the net. They have the guys on this team to start scoring goals. They have 40 goal scorers on this team. They need to start putting the puck in the net. John Tortorella, I don't know what's going on right now. They need to start shaking things up, and in the right way. Not bringing Chris Kreider down into the minors. This young kid that they have on the team, goes down to the minors, scores 6 goals in 8 games. They bring him back up, and hopefully he adds some excitement to just the way he did last season in the playoffs. If I don't know if you heard about the kid Kreider.
Come on. All right.
That's it?
That's it. We're done.
Lou knows absolutely nothing about hockey. It's too funny, man. No, all right. The Rangers' next game, they'll be at the Garden on Sunday against the Washington Capitals, and that's your boy, Ovechkin.
Ovechkin coming in.
There you go.
An elite player in the league.
There you go. I put a smile on his face.
What do you do? He had a hat trick a couple.
No, that was like a month ago, bro.
Oh. Well, I remember he had a hat trick.
All right, but the Rangers, they definitely need to start playing some better hockey, and that better hurry up because 18 games remaining. That's going to come up fast with this only 48-game season. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They got to pick it up right now.
It's not playing well. Let's go, Rangers. Come on, pick it up.
There you go.
OC, Falcons making a push for him, reported by ESPN's Adam Schefter. Would you be upset as a Giant fan to lose OC?
Nope. No. Not at all. Absolutely not. No. Oh, very replaceable player, and I know a lot of people in my family will yell at me for that, but you know what? A guy in Osi Umenyiora who asks for more money every single year. Yeah, all those years where he was holding out for his contract and stuff like that. You know what? The Giants don't need to deal with a player like that. Let's move on from Osi Umenyiora. Let's move forward with JPP and Justin Tuck. Let's focus on some new young kids coming up at the DN spot. And let's try to work on getting his defense better for the Giants. Obviously, 31st in the NFL last year, and we need to start focusing on this secondary, and it needs to get better fast.
How about your boy Eli coming out and saying, listen, I'll renegotiate my contract. Just bring me Victor Cruz back.
Eli Manning and David Deal stating this week that they will restructure contracts to bring Victor Cruz.
Now, those are teammates, man.
Right.
That's when you know you got something good.
Yeah.
When guys are willing to do that.
And
you know
what
I mean?
Supposedly.
It actually makes you feel good.
It does.
For once.
No, it does.
You see some athletes out there that are willing to do that.
Right. And this is like allegedly right now, but sources were stating that there's a deal on the table for Victor Cruz, a 4-year, $24 million deal, $6 million a year. And sources
what's guaranteed though? That's
right. That's what's in the air right now. And his agent was stating that he believes that Victor could make more on the market. He's thinking that he's a $9-10 million receiver.
Yeah, but I'm sure he'll take that deal. Just give him a nice guaranteed. Give him like 16 guaranteed, you know?
I think the Giants are really making it clear to Victor Cruz that they are going to focus more on Hakeem Nicks next season. They're trying to save some money for Hakeem Nicks next season because that's the guy that they want to keep here long term.
Well, what Victor Cruz needs to realize is, listen, you see your teammates like Eli and Deal stepping up to the plate. Like you have to, if you want to stay on this team,
right,
and you want to be the man and want to win, to have a chance to win Super Bowls, you need to not collect your $9 to $10 million a year. And I know it's crazy to say, but collect your 4 years, $24 million contract, 18 guaranteed or something like that, and you're chilling anyway.
Right?
How much more are you going to get?
I don't know.
Listen, he could get a 4-year deal, $10 million a year, but they might only guarantee him $13 million or something.
Right.
That's what people don't understand about.
Well, he's got $2.89 on the table right now with the first-round tenure.
What is it?
$2.89 million on the table right now if he signs that, which he hasn't yet. But, I don't know what's going on in Victor Cruz's head. No one really knows other than Victor and probably his agent and maybe a couple family and friends.
I hope his agent doesn't pull a Doomerville. And, by the way, Dolphins and the Ravens are in the mix.
Yes, I heard that today. The Ravens definitely trying to go after Elvis Doomerville today. But with Victor Cruz, I think he's from Paterson, New Jersey, hometown kid. He did grow up a Cowboys fan, but this is where he's been. This is where he's comfortable. The Giants gave him a shot, and he was successful. I think if I'm in his shoes, this is a place where I want to stay. Not that I'm a Giant fan, but if I'm Victor Cruz, I got family and friends here. I'm very successful here. It's a winning franchise. If I go somewhere else that's going to pay me a lot more money, like a team that's just not very good, their organization's not run well, this is a place where I think he deserves to stay, and maybe he wants to stay.
You do not leave New York, period.
No.
You don't leave New York. That's it.
Yeah. Look at all the commercials.
Yeah, you'll get money in advertisements.
Just
don't worry about it.
Right. Any other wide receivers in the NFL getting major promotional?
Nope. No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Chunky Soup.
Chunky's a
the
big
Campbell
brand.
Soups, the Adidas commercials.
Exactly.
He's making a lot of money right now off of endorsements, and he wouldn't be making that money if he was playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Exactly.
Right. Tampa Bay Bucks. Like, teams like that, you're not getting those endorsements, those advertisements. So I think this is a good spot for him. I hope he stays, honestly, because with him and Hakeem Nicks, that's a hell of a tandem that the Giants have, and I really hope that they lock both of these guys up long time because they do deserve it, and they're very good at what they do.
How do you feel about the Urlacher situation?
I think it's one of those situations where the Bears were like, you know what, it's time to move on.
I think it's messed up.
You think so?
Yeah, I think Chicago's. I think that's hard. I don't know.
Football's a young man's game, Lou.
Yeah, but
you get to a point where now you got these gladiators that are at a certain age and they just can't perform the way they did when they were in their 20s.
These gladiators.
Isn't that what they are?
They are, absolutely.
If you want to look at it that way, that's what they are.
I know, but why get rid of your man, And basically
if you
give him
can't
an ultimatum.
perform at the level that you used to,
You don't think Urlacher could perform?
To what he was when he was in his 20s? No, he doesn't have the same speed. Obviously, his mindset's always going to be there. I'm sure he's a very smart football player, and he plays middle linebacker very well. But it just comes a time where, you know what, you're a step slower here. You're a step slower reacting to the left or to the right.
I agree, but he also knows a lot more than a young linebacker coming up.
Right.
Where he knows people's
The Bears are moving forward. New coach, new system.
No, I know. They are. They're 100% they
right.
are.
They're moving forward with a bunch of new players. So
I just think it was messed up. That's all.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Brian Urlacher is going to get a job very soon. Someone will take a chance at him because he's been a Pro Bowler for many years in the past. So a team will definitely, maybe a team up and coming.
I don't want to bring up the other team that's in town, so let's just skip over that.
Will that get you mad if I bring it up right now?
What do you want to bring up? Tell me.
No, there's not really a lot of talk going on. Maybe like Rex Ryan stating that Tim Tebow's going to be in the mix in the quarterback.
Did
grouping.
he say that?
Yeah.
That's great.
You like that?
Yes. I've been saying it all. Start the guy already.
Put Tebow in the game.
Put Tebow in and start the season with him, and let's just go.
Rick, you're also a Jeff fan. Why don't you chime in on this?
I can't.
You like
Please.
Tebow?
No, I don't.
No? You're done with Tim Tebow?
I'm done with the circus. I'm done with him getting
Between
more press.
David Garrard, Mark Sanchez, and Tim Tebow.
Right.
Pick one.
Tim Tebow, baby.
God.
Tim Tebow?
I take him.
I take a run at Garrard.
Oh my God.
You're going to give Garrard, that 35-year-old, another shot, huh?
One more shot, but then he's done.
Can I tell you who they're definitely going to go with?
Who?
It's going to be number 6, man.
Yeah,
they're going to live and die by Mark Sanchez
They're going to
next
start
year.
Sanchez. You're right.
$8 million. You don't pay a guy $8 million to sit on your bench. He's taking snaps under center, every snap under center, unless he's getting carried off the field. And that's the bottom line.
Well, then let's pick up James Harrison. Let's just keep, let's just go for it, man.
I told you this.
Sign all these guys to one-year contracts.
It's like American Idol. They're just bringing everybody in. Everybody gets a tryout.
Yeah.
And then
Hey, the Jets were signing that girl kicker to come try out. It didn't work out well for her, but
Rex just liked her feet.
Really, is that what it was?
Probably.
Yeah.
That would have been unbelievable.
Hey, the Jets will do
had a
anything for
girl
the front
kicker.
page. You know that.
But did you hear Ryan's other statement? The team's definitely not shopping Revis.
Not actively shopping.
Not
Not
actively.
actively.
Like
Oh,
this
my
week,
goodness.
actively,
Meanwhile, I heard Tampa Bay offered us first and third round next year's draft. And
Listen.
the Jets turned it down.
And they turned it down, huh?
Yeah.
How about they make an offer for
They
Tebow?
want the first pick this year.
You know what? I don't know if it's such a bad move, though. If they listen.
Dude, if you trade Revis,
You're not paying
to
him.
Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's probably not. They're going to be better than what they were. They're not going to be a top 10 pick.
But it's a better draft next season. And you don't know who's going to be available.
So you're going to trade Revis for what? Say they, the 18th pick overall?
I don't think Tampa Bay is going to make that much of a stride. All right, maybe they're going to be from the 15 to 20 range, but it's going to be a better draft. You don't know who's going to be in the draft. You don't know how your team's going to be set up. Say the Jets, they make that trade. Now they're going to be a bad team next season. So say they have a top 5 and a 15 to 18. That's a good draft for next season. That's a good draft. And you're not paying Darrelle Revis $15-16 million next year. So that's also a lot of wiggle room in the cap.
I want Revis
to go bring in some
team.
other free agents. Would you rather have one guy making $15 million, or you could spread that out to about 3 or 4 guys that you pay like $3, $4, $5 million here, and that's another 3 or 4 starting positions, rather than, all right, he is one of the best defensive players in the game. It's a lockdown corner, but if you could sacrifice him and put another 3 or 4 guys on that defense, I think that's going to help you guys out, honestly, future-wise.
Yeah, it helps us out 2 years from now.
Listen, I'm
what? I'm going to give up Revis for nothing. That's what you're telling me.
No,
Here, take Darrelle Revis and give me something 2 years from now.
You're not giving him up for nothing. You're getting a first-round pick. You're getting a third-round pick.
But the players that we're picking won't play until 2 years from now. That makes sense to you? Does that make sense to anybody?
What do you mean?
Why would you get rid of the best player on your team? Hold on, if you're the Lakers, are you going to get rid of Kobe at the end of the year?
If the Lakers win,
are you going to get rid of Kobe at the end of the year?
If the Lakers were coming in last place?
Get out of here, dude. You don't get rid of your best player. He's a corner piece of your defense. The Jets dropped the ball on this one, and they're basically gutting their whole team, and they're going to get rid of Revis for nothing because they're going to panic, and we're going to be trash for another 3 years.
Well, getting rid of
Ryan,
Revis for
Sanchez,
nothing would mean
they're out of here. Tebow's out of here. Everyone's going to be out of here after this year, and we're going to have to deal with a bunch of nonsense the rest of this season. So please, just put Tebow in. If I was Rex, I'd say, listen, call up God and be like, listen, get me into the playoffs to save my ass. Okay? Save my job, please. Because Sanchez ain't going to do it for me. And John Itzik definitely ain't going to do it for me.
Well, how do you know that?
Because he's gutting the team. The only reason Rex Ryan's here this year is because Woody Johnson wants him here.
Right.
And he's like, you know what? We have one more year with Sanchez, so Rex, you wanted him, you got him.
But you don't know about that with Itzik yet. You don't know what he could do with this team. He has it.
Itzik's a puppet. He's a puppet right now.
For who? Woody Johnson?
He's a
Woody
puppet.
Johnson knows how to run a football team. He knows how to put a football team together.
Rex Ryan is
Man,
pushing,
the Jets are in
is
trouble.
Buttons.
The Jets are in trouble if they let Woody Johnson control this team because he's not Jerry Jones. He's not Jerry Jones. This guy runs.
Why, Jerry Jones all of a sudden like Mr. Owner of the Year? When's the last time he won a Super Bowl?
No, I'm not saying that, but he's won Super Bowls in the past.
One of my favorite beats of all time.
Who the hell is this? Calling me at 5:46 in the morning, the crack of dawn, and now I'm yawning. Wipe the coal out my eye. Come on.
Come on. I know every word to every Biggie song. Stop. I don't have
Listen,
to.
I just think the Jets are in trouble, Lou. I really just think the Jets are in trouble. Everyone knows the Jets are in trouble.
Check one. Brooklyn.
He's doing his impressions.
Spot on.
That was good. All right, number to call, 631-955-5400. It's the LB and Sports Doctor radio show. We got 4 minutes, so if you want to chime in on this Jet talk right now, tell me what you guys think of this Jets team for next season. I remember the LB and Sports Doctor question of the day last week. We had it at 3.5 wins. I had the under. I think the Jets are going to have 3 wins next season. With Darrelle Revis, they might have 5 or 6, but guess what? You're still a bad football team, so maybe it might not hurt to try to move him and bring some other guys in here. That's what I'm saying, and you don't got to pay him $15 million.
Well,
I could win with him, or I could lose with him, and I could lose without him. That's exactly what Woody Johnson is saying, and that's why he's never going to pay Darrelle Revis.
What's the chances that Notre Dame wins tonight? I'm not going to get on this Jet talk anymore. I'm going to lose my mind.
All right, let's get off of it then. Notre
It's
Dame
your birthday.
basketball.
It's your birthday. Let's talk about the Irish. Come on.
Woo! The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. But it might disappoint you that I'm not a Notre Dame basketball fan.
Oh, well, I just want to throw it out there that Johnny Numbers sent me a text, and he said, I forgot Iowa State. That's his pick, and they are playing Notre Dame Fighting Irish. But
What's the spread in that
Since you're
game?
just a front runner for Notre Dame football and you don't care about Notre Dame basketball and you don't care about the Notre Dame school
I told you I'm a Johnny's fan.
I understand, but listen, if you're a Notre Dame fan, you should like Notre Dame in all sports.
All right.
Maybe not like your number one.
That's right.
Maybe not your number one. You know what I mean? But
what do you mean?
You should cheer for Notre Dame basketball.
Listen, when I watch Notre Dame, yes, I might root for them. Yeah, it's just not the same as when I'm watching Notre Dame football. I've been a Notre Dame football fan my entire life. I have not been watching Notre Dame basketball my entire life. I watch the Johnnies.
What about who's your baseball team? College baseball team?
College baseball team would have to be the Southern Connecticut State Owls in New Haven, the place where I played college baseball.
Is that D1?
That is D2.
D2.
D2 wood bat.
All right, so let's get to real baseball. D1, who's your favorite team?
That was a cheap shot right there. D1.
Notice how there's only 3 minutes left.
Yeah. D1 baseball, who would I root for if I see him? You know, I like watching the College World Series. I think Cal State Fullerton's a good team. LSU, Clemson, teams like that. Those are always fun teams to watch.
South Carolina?
South Carolina's always good.
You played in Woodbat, huh?
Woodbat D2, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that like a specific league or something
Yeah, the
like
Northeast 10.
Really? And
Yep.
you play teams that just wood bats?
The whole league, the entire league was wood bat.
So if you played
The only
an
team
out of
in-
league game, would you be able to use metal bats?
The only time we used metal bat is when we took trips down to Florida and Georgia to play teams. Obviously, like Florida Southern, Tampa, teams like that that are in Division II. You know, Tampa, Tino Martinez went there. We played Florida Atlantic, Tim Wakefield. So a lot of these schools down in Florida, they use metal bat. You know, when they come back up to the Northeast, my conference strictly was the only conference in the United States that used wood bat in D2. So.
And did you feel like there was an adjustment period switching to wood bat when you first got in there?
I honestly love wood bat better. I think metal bat is very fake. I honestly think D1 kids that go to these D1 division baseball schools, they should switch over to wood bat because they're already playing wood bat in all these summer leagues.
Yeah.
So, you know what? And eventually, if they get drafted, they're going to be playing wood bat anyway.
Dude, not to mention those metal bats. You can get cracked with one of those line drives from a metal bat, right? Yeah,
they can. All right. Another show, another week in the books. Every Friday night from 9 to 10, it's the LB and Sports Doctor radio show on WLIE, 540 a.m. Follow the Twitters, at Sports Doctor TV, at Daily Cleanup, and at LB and Chris.
Let's go, Butler. Let's go, VCU, baby.
Until next week, everybody, enjoy your weekend. Stay safe out there. We'll see you guys next week.